So I went to New Zealand. I was a plus one for my boyfriend's best friend's wedding, so this video is more of a vacation video than like my opinion on anything. We had a non-stop flight out of LAX, so we got to go to the fancy side of LAX where it says like international and stuff. So we exchanged our currency and then got on our Air New Zealand flight. Now, because my love has such long legs and the flight is about 12 hours long, we had to sit in the bougie section, which had its perks. After our meal, which was so much food, BT dubs, we pretty much just fell asleep and slept for the remainder of the flight. We woke up to the beautiful North Island. Since we were traveling so far for the wedding, they decided to make a whole vacation out of it and worked with the travel agency, rolled out a whole list of events for us to do the week and a half before the wedding. When we actually got into the airport, I was a little bit disappointed because everything is electronic now. So customs was basically just like me scanning my passport. I didn't get a stamp. I wanted a stamp, but it was pretty painless since we had gone through the travel agency. We just got immediately onto our shuttle and directly into our hotel. First day there, we wandered around Auckland alone, just asking touristy questions, taking pictures, and we kept giggling about the fact that the driver's side is on the right, because we're tourists. Since New Zealand is a British colony, they love their fish and chips too, so I found the best fish and chips place in Auckland, and we tried that place out, and it was really bomb. So the next day we took a tour bus to the Bay of Islands. It took us about 3 hours each way driving up to the Bay of Islands, but it's a really, really beautiful scenic route, and our driver is also a tour guide that told us a little bit about the land that we were driving through and past, and about the history of the island, pretty much starting when Europeans came in and started messing up stuff, and also a few of their indigenous legends as well. Once we got to the Bay of Islands, we checked in with our skipper and we went on our boat tour. Now, we were supposed to actually swim with the dolphins, but one of the dolphins in the pack that we found out in the wild had just given birth or recently given birth, and they do not like that. They don't like a bunch of strangers around their babies, which, I feel like no mammals like any strangers around their babies. So we didn't get to swim with them, but we did get to see them, and it was really cool seeing them in the wild. I know it seems kind of corny, but I've been to places like SeaWorld. Seeing them in the wild is a lot different. They're so much bigger in the wild. I didn't know dolphins were able, even the bottlenose dolphins, I didn't know they would get that big. And they seemed much more playful in the wild, where in captivity they do seem sad. Their eyes look sad. The tricks that they're doing all seem very forced and like you're paying to see slaves do tricks in the water. Whereas in the wild, when they didn't want to be bothered with us anymore, they just swam away. The second day in Auckland, we went to Waiheke Island. We went on a ferry boat tour to Waiheke Island. Waiting for us on Waiheke Island was a tour of 3 different wineries, complete with a full lunch and desserts, and of course, wine. Raise the bar, down to our knees, pray to the God, we don't believe. Hawaiian tour, got all dressed up, and went to the Sky Tower. And there's a restaurant inside that actually rotates a full 360 degrees during the course of your meal. So pretty much by each course, if you have 3 courses, by each course you see a different part of the city from your vantage point that high up. It's really cool. Our next stop on our tour was Rotorua, and it's about an hour-long flight away from Auckland. Now, no one told us that Rotorua is the land of sulfur, so when we got there, we were like, what is that smell? Whenever there's like a stiff breeze, you get a really strong whiff of sulfur. Rotorua has a strong indigenous sensibility, and all of the tours that we took while we were out there were cultural.
Don't change, squirrel. Don't change, squirrel. Don't change, squirrel.
We visited salt caves and glowworm caves, and even our tour guide was a descendant of the Maori explorer who found the caves. And she considers herself a protector of the cave. We weren't allowed to film because the light from your cameras could disturb the glowworm. I couldn't film while we were inside. I can film only when we were coming out of the cave.
Look into my eyes, let them hypnotize.
Everywhere takes a couple hours drive to get to, so we were constantly on tour buses and hearing more and more facts about the island. And of course, I love the folklore. After our glowworm cave expedition, we took the scenic route to a very popular farm for a tour. We watched a sheep be sheared, and we were assured that the sheep was not harmed at all physically during the process, but the poor thing looked so scared, maybe because there was a crowd of people and he or she did not know what was about to go on. After that, we watched a sheepdog named Queen run some drills with some ducks and some sheep, and it kind of looked like a scene out of the movie Babe. Most of the cows there are hand milked, which I liked that. So the cows were out in the pasture. They weren't in cages or hooked up to those like creepy looking machines that you see in those vegan conversion videos. Also, one of the cows had curly hair. Like, she had long, white, spirally curled hair, and I've never seen a cow with a fro before. I didn't even know cows came in curly. We hand fed the sheep, which it seems like they're very used to, because as soon as we pulled up in the go-kart, like, they pretty much attacked us. Like,
just got jacked for my food. I don't have anything else.
Goats were the only ones that were actually behind like a full-on fence, and it's because baby goats, the kids, are really bad. They're terrible. They like to headbutt people, trip people for no reason, jump off things. Our last stop was at a village called Te Pua.
Right there in the middle of things, right there in the middle of things with me. Big old dreams and
There they do historical cultural reenactments. They even invited the male guests to learn how to catch the step.
Big eyes, the big tongue.
It also housed one of the world's largest natural springs, as well as boiling mud pools. When we were just wandering around the city, we got hip to all of the unique chocolate combinations that the country has to offer. We brought some back with us. Our last tourist city that the Great Sights tour company set up for us was the city of Wellington. It kind of reminds me of the city of San Francisco in California.
Is there any wonder why I'm shining so tonight? Is there any wonder why I speak?
By the tail end of our trip, we made it finally down to the tip of the South Island, to the city of Invercargill. It was about 2.5 hours, or roughly 4.5 episodes of Hanging with Mr. Cooper that I downloaded from iTunes. There was a rental car waiting for us at the airport because the actual location of the wedding was about an hour outside of town. We arrived at a beautiful beach house that we shared with 2 other couples that were also attending the wedding. Overlooking a petrified forest and the ocean. It was just beautiful. We enjoyed 2 days worth of wedding festivities.
Hello people, how are you doing? I'm a professional.
Which included like a barbecue and archery and just an overall good time before it was time for us to say goodbye. I really love New Zealand. It was such a beautiful place, and there is still so much that I didn't see or explore while we were there. So hopefully we'll be back and we can see some more sights.
All dressed up in my new suit, took my